So, asato ma sadgamaya tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are, though thinking that every day we'll finish it, but it is not finishing. We are on the chapter Sangatyaga, the fifth point of the 6 relinquishing ideas in devotional practice. So again, to repeat, the 6 relinquishing ideas are, one is what? One is that utsaho, for relinquishing ideas is that sangatyago, association, bad association, to give away bad association. That was our discussion. But it was the 5th point, how to develop spirituality and devotion for God. That first point was, it was the enthusiasm, we should keep our enthusiasm, utsahat. Then again, I repeat it every time, so that we understand that what is to be done in our spiritual life. Utsahat, then comes dhoirjat. Dhoirja is the forbearance. Third practice is to be done nishchaya, determination, that this path what I am following will lead me to liberation. And then next we left the last one, the 4th. That means perform such actions which will be favorable to develop spirituality and devotion. And now we are on Sangatyaga, giving up worldly association. And next one chapter we will have to read what is Sadvritti, or adopting the noble sadhu character. But still we are not done with this association, with the detachment from the unwanted association. So it is a big discussion, because if we think that it is such a serious thing to practice, whole life to practice, how to detach from the asadhu or unsaintly or non-spiritual association. So we have read up to so many points, but still this book continues, helps us different aspects of the attachment to be given up. Attachment to material things should be abandoned by everyone. That is the discussion, point of discussion now. So it is said that one is to endeavor to give up all types of attachments to material objects. Householders will have to do that. Home and other paraphernalias, to the beautiful clothing, ornaments, body, and all garden, these, that. So people have their own many choice. Some people so attached to their habits, bad habits, such as smoking, then other, or alcoholic, drinking, this, that. So those habits end up substantial hindrance to the spiritual practitioner. So some people, without any consideration, disrespect the holy people and also the holy prasad. Rather, giving up that, they go for wrong type of food. So have it constantly done in that negative way, creates a negative impression in the mind. Therefore, they should give up that association. Sometimes people are powerless against such habits, cannot remain for long within some temple, no? Even going to a holy place, as if they are not comfortable there. People coming to Ramakrishna from Calcutta, some are relishing, some friend come and they say, oh, how long to stay here? Let us go. Let us have a fresh air. Go, let us sit on the boat. And he cannot tolerate few minutes. Afterwards, he pushes his friend, and friend says, let me sit little more in Sri Ramakrishna's room. And the friend goes and sits in the boat to get the fresh air. Meaning, the holy company is not very suited to some people. Those who are very worldly minded, they cannot take this. So as long as one does not completely give up the attachment to these material objects, one cannot experience the joy of bhajan, the joy of spiritual life, the joy of repeating the mantra, singing the glories, chanting the mantras, and absorbing insight. Singing some songs, getting absorbed, it is possible only for a spiritual person. Superficial singing will be there for most of the people. Even they will not like that type of song. They have a preference of other type of song. So that is, all these attachments are easily destroyed when we get in the company of the holy sadhus. Still, one should endeavor to destroy these petty attachments to the practice of bhakti. That's why it is said, as we are reading in the Mahapurush Maharaj's statement, go and cry and pray, O Ramakrishna, O Thakur. You know, destroy my all these tendencies. Let them go, let them go, let them go. And bring in my life holy association. So these attachments can be vanquished by observing. Sometimes they call, that's why they do this fasting. One of the causes are that they say the senses become little under control. The passion, all this lust, etc., can reduce by fasting. That is the benefit of fasting. Because they are not getting sufficient encouragement. But mere fasting will not do unless one is engaged in holy company. Holy company means thinking of God, repeating the mantra, japa, reading, studying, all these what we do. So these attachments can be vanquished by observing brothas. Brothas means the fasting, etc., that have relevance to God realization. Attachment is accredited by following, that's why they are talking about Ekadasi. On the 11th day of the moon, Vaishnavas observe fasting. So there, one thing, as I said, always the positive aspect is that I will be totally engrossed in God, so I don't want to engage my time in any other thing. So that's why they go to fast. But main thing is to sit, upavasa. Fasting means upavasa. Vasa means to stay, to live. Upa means coming close proximity of God. That means one's mind should go to the close proximity of God and then get engaged. That is real upavasa. But normally we do upavasa, fasting. That means trying to be away from certain things and just avoiding even not to spend the time for other things rather than memorizing or repeating the holy name.
Is it Vasa or Vasa?
V-A Vasa. Vasa. Bhasa. Bhasa is another thing. Ba and Bha. Bengali do both have. So the faithfully and properly observing Ekadasi means the 11th day, Janmashtami, the birthday of Sri Krishna, Guru Purnima, Sri Guru's birthday, Ram Navami, Rama's birthday. People observe many such things. these attachments are easily, these attachment to the world and worldly thing, they say that it can be gradually vanquished. And the purpose of observing the brothos and regulation is to remove the attachment. On the day of brothos, one should single-pointedly perform bhajan. That's the point. They should engage their mind in doing practice more. Bhagavan, and relinquish all types of other enjoyments. And what the enjoyments? Object of enjoyment, it is for the general public. No? It is for all the people in the world. They do two types of this. One object of enjoyment are two types. Those that sustain life and those that gratify the senses. Two types of food is there. So food and drinks are life sustaining. So our system, we the spiritual seekers, should practice how we can sustain our life. That much is necessary. Over eating or over indulging, these are all, it will be only indulging the gratifications. And Vaishnavas will say, of course, in any spiritual life, intoxicating food, avoid intoxicating food. What are intoxicating food? Like drinking alcohol, and tarpore, what you call, drug, and also little thing, something, sometimes it instigates tobacco, not cigarette, smoking, which people get easily entangled. One day of brothos, it is necessary to completely give up all objects. That day also another thing. They say, okay, I am performing brata, I don't take this, I don't take that, I don't take that. Even those intoxicating things, people cannot get out, but they can force. No, this is my brata, my virtue, my vows, I won't do anything. So that's a control over your mind. One should also try as far as possible to decrease the items needed to sustain one's life. How much things we need, accumulation. That is also another great important virtue. But as much is necessary, not overtly indulging into the needs. According to the needs of one's bodily condition, one must try as far as possible to reduce even the acceptance of life-sustaining things. To meet one's minimal requirement, a provision exists to accept anukalpo, simple non-grain foodstuff. They are bhaktas, so say non-grain foodstuff. That's why they don't take rice. But those fast, you give payasam, rice. No, today I am fasting. I can't take rice. So that's a non-grain. It is a grain. So you take food which is not grain. That's why fruits, people take sometimes fruits and other things. A provision exists to anukalpo, non-grain food. However, there is no such rule for accepting objects of sense. That the only rule is that they are to be completely rejected. That means for a spiritual aspirant, we should be careful. We don't, people sometimes think that I can take care of both sides. But no, they are for expert people. Those who are realized people, they can do whatever they like, no? But when we are in aspirant, so we need to focus a little bit on that, but don't focus too much. Don't focus too much and be hard on him too much. But little care is good. One of the purposes of observing Sabbrata is to gradually diminish the propensity for enjoyment. Someone thinks that today I will somehow or other endure the austerity of being without a particular item, but I will enjoy it profusely tomorrow, then the brata will not be successful. Fasting, if you suppose you say that, okay, I am fasting today, after my breakfast I will take as many things as is there. So you are not actually following the principle of this spiritual life. That is, I am trying to reduce my urges for all these things gradually. So he says these are good ideas. The reason is that brothos have been prescribed so that one may give up such items by gradual practice. Brothos are also usually observed for 3 days. In this way, by giving up the association of the objects, of the sense objects for 3 days, then for a month long Chandrayana Brata, and then by observing 4 months Chaturmasya Brata and other Bratas in the same way, such objects will gradually be given up forever. That means sometimes people say in this country, oh, I am sober for 6 months. Huh? This is good achievement. But 6 months I am done and one day I go again. Then they feel bad. Oh, I failed again. Again try. So if it goes on, this brata means vows. I will not take it. That means you are pressurizing your mind to obey you, what you think. No? Mind will say, I want it. So there are different types of bratas they have mentioned. The bratas in the same way, such objects will gradually be given. The renunciation of those who are at the time of observing a brata cannot remember the statement Bhagavad Gita that he quickly becomes righteous, is fleeting like the results of elephant's bath. Huh? That means if they don't keep this idea, but only goes on again indulging into the same thing, so this effort becomes meaningless. So rather slow but steady. Yeah. So this is the benefit of, that means simple thing, sometimes we don't understand the purpose and benefit of spiritual practice. What is the significance of some vows of fasting and other? This is the benefit, because it gives us silently it gives us the control over our desires, our tongue. Mainly tongue is one thing, the food. But we also have tongue, eyes also. I will see nothing rather than good. Na? Bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na dekhibe. Poribe. Bhalo na poribe. Don't wear, you should not wear very luxurious dress for a devotee. Page number is, oh sorry, I have forgot. 202. Page number 202 of the book, I am here. Sorry, I should have mentioned at the very beginning. So it is said that they, by practicing this way gradually, their control makes them more stable, more spiritual. So, bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na poribe. No dress up, gorgeous dresses. Vaishnavas should be humble. That means as much needed. That's why you will find that Sri Ramakrishna's dress, you look at that. A simple one cloth wrapping around the body. Even Holy Mother, look at that, one cloth wrapping around the body. And how simple, how even all the Ramakrishna disciples of Ramakrishna in Baranagar days, when they are after Ramakrishna's passing away, look at them. They have very austere days, they have no individual clothings. They could not provide to get. But one set or 2 set, minimum 3 set, just what it, but we live in a society, understand? You should not be, that would be a showpiece then. Oh, I am very austere. That is also not necessary. But should be, you know how much is that, you in your heart.
Showing off your level of austereness.
Showing
off how austere you are.
That's also another thing. Many people in spiritual life make a show. I am very austere than you. I wear a tattered cloth. No, you should read. No, you should have, no, because you live in the society. So you should have to be, if we are not that, But for that reason I should not be having a silken dress and gorgeous. Many people do that. That may be towards the beginning, that may have some value. I have to separate out. I am a spiritual person. I am not ordinary. That pride should come. Then you have to give up that pride. There are many spiritual people. Who am I? No. And then so simple thinking. Simple thinking, simple wearing, simple food. Thinking noble.
This is one time that Madhavananda Swami, he wouldn't take this bhalo na khaibe, he didn't have any kind of thing. So he wouldn't take rasgulla or something. Usually no, like that. But one devotee place when he went, then they offered him that sweet. And then he said okay, he accepted. But the one brahmachari was there, he had that pride that I don't want to have the good thing. He said no. But Madhavananda accepted. Then he was thinking later that okay, bhalo na khaibe, but he did that. But then he explained later that he gave up that pride also, that they offered it, he accepted. It's not like that he want to have good food, but also not to.
But that may be an excuse also. True. Holy people sometimes, in our society, in Ramakrishna tradition, we do things, no? Our great Swamis, even we do. But what is your attitude? To satisfy him? Someone has brought with some devotion something, no? You should not be rude. What we do? We will, okay, give it. It will go for the Lord. Just put it, digress it. So it does not go to you. And that is a pride is also there. Oh, I don't take it. I refused that person. So you hurt the sentiment of others also. So, these are all personal way of looking at what is your purpose and what you are doing. Same action may be looked from outside differently. Madhavananda Swami's that action would have been seen, oh, he loves this, oh, he wants Rasgulla then. Or his attitude is totally different. He is thinking, no, it is not for me, but the devotee has brought it with love. Or it is a prasad. No, just accept that. You need not have to take whole, but you accept it and then give it away. Anyhow, now, so the association, inappropriate association with men with the women or women with the man and non-devotees is always prohibited. In Vaishnava practice and monastic practice, Vedanta students practice also. If you're a monk, but not for the householder, I'm talking about that. They have their relationship with their husband and wife.
What kind of interaction? Any interaction at all?
According to strict spirituality, no interaction. But we live in a society, there we have, as I said, we have to keep a respectful attitude. They are my mom or my sister. So a pure relationship. No. Otherwise mind is tricky. It can trick anyone to the worldly way of thinking. So the inappropriate association, that's why they write inappropriate association. Of women with men or with the non-devotees or men with the women is always prohibited for those who desire to attain pure bhakti. You want love for God, you want devotion, you want spiritual growth, you will have to do that. So for this, satsanga is extremely necessary. In addition to this, it is also necessary to follow Vaishnava Vratas, along with that Vratas. Vratas means these different days of fasting and other self-control in order to remove attachment to the material object. To neglect this is improper. That means in our life, when we are a student in spiritual life, we should maintain this standard till you attain to the state of perfection. And a student's life, austere life, no? When you finish your school, then you are a free soul, is it not? But when you are a student, how much you have to study? When somebody who have finished the school, they are making fun and going to movie and other things. But when his student is studying, his examination is closed, what he does? He shuns everything. No, not for me. So in spiritual life also, until one realizes the divine, until one realizes God, so this should have to be practiced. This is association to be abandoned. And even the pride, to neglect this is improper. The brothos will not bear fruit if they are followed with faith. That means I am doing this with the faith that I will grow in love for God. I am doing this, I will grow devotion in me. Rather, pride and duplicity will increase. If we don't do, I keep in my mind something hidden. And externally I am showing too much spirituality. That is hypocrisy. That should be abandoned. Very important. Whom you are showing, you are ruining yourself if you don't do that. So very careful in spiritual life. That's why spiritual life is called walking on the razor, which shapes your blade. You have to call this, and then it is very sharp, and you walk over it. It's very difficult, impossible almost. But spiritual life is like that, because how our mind makes a trick with me. As just now she talked about the Madhavananda Swami story, he is taking that. What is the consideration? Is he taking lustfully or greedily for the satisfaction, or with another attitude? So if two people can take the same thing in two different attitudes, result is totally different. That's why for initial aspirants like us, we should have to be following the brothos also, vows also. Pride, duplicity, that will increase. Otherwise, the Hari Bhakti or God, love for God, will become difficult to attain despite your Sravana and chanting Kirtana. Someone is doing japa, someone is listening talks and lectures, will not do anything unless you are watching, careful of your conduct. What you are doing, for what purpose you are doing this. And what are Sangha and Sangha Tyaga? Numerous types of dubious doubts arises in many people regarding Sangha and Sangha Tyaga, and for good reason. We have said Sangha means association, Sangha Tyaga means giving up the association. What does it mean? If association were to be defined by mere proximity to worldly person or object, then there would be no means of avoiding such association. That's why away from those association is best. You can understand when we are in a ashrama environment, we are in a temple environment, our mind is much different than that when you go into a congenial environment where people are partying and eating and dressing up, and then suppose you go to a party, you dress up properly in the party dress. No. And you eat things and you talk like that. Oh? But when you come to a temple, you talk differently. You dress differently. That's why church dress, is it not? In all religion there is a church dress. When you go to church, that you wear this type of dress. So that is the control. That is the control. Offering pure devotees items in accordance to their requirement, accepting prasad or remnant, it is items given by pure devotees, revealing to devotees one's confidential realization concerning bhajan, inquiring from them about their confidential realization, eating with great love prasad, the remnants of God by devotees, lovingly feeding the prasad to others. These are the symptoms of loving association with devotees. Therefore, O aspirant, O students, sadhakas, one, for sustaining your bodily journey, it is necessary to be near both devotees and non-devotees. No, you live in the world, there will be that. Both householders and renunciates are equal in this regard. But there is one recourse. There may be closeness with association. If reciprocal giving and taking, reciprocal conversing, reciprocal eating, and other mutual exchanges are done with a binding affection, then it is considered to be a Sangha. So if you have a holy people, you associate with holy, with all this type of exchange, no? You are offering prasad, you are talking about God, you are listening about God. So that is called the priti. The food that is given to a hungry person, help that is provided to a poor, and the donation of a religious-minded donors are all given and received as a duty. Then normally people think it is my duty. Someone is hungry, I am giving some food. That's a duty. You donate some money. Oh, there is people in this this present crisis. People are donating money to different countries for their poor people who are lacking in medicine and other things for them. But there is this is it's called the charity. No, we call as a duty. You are doing as a charity. We call charity. There is no mutual sangha between the beggar and the donor, always. Beggar is somewhere, donor is high up. So, lack of affection, there is no connection. But when these actions are imbued with affection and love, they are called the sangha. Hence, that's why it is called, you give Shiva in the Jiva, serve. In our Vedanta principle, this Ramakrishna tradition, Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. You serve a poor person not as poor. You serve them as Lord Shiva, residing in that pure. So a relationship is there. It's intimate relationship. You are serving God who is in your heart. So that should be the attitude. Otherwise, many people, charitable people donate, and a spiritual person also donate or give. So that they are not equal. So, assume that a mundane person has come to you, and now, considering it your duty, you interact with him as necessary. Do not speak confidentially with him about your spiritual realization. Anyone coming outside, you need not have to talk about your spirituality, because they won't understand, first of all, and then they will criticize it. And that is you are not getting anything in return from him, because he is not spiritual. So there what you do? You serve. You serve that it is all devotees of Krishna will say, there is Krishna. I am offering to Lord Krishna in him. Finish. But not for intimate exchange. So he says that do not speak confidentiality of your spiritual practice. Oh, I have a vision. I was meditating, I got this. Don't talk to them. Only to the people who can reciprocate. And they have also something to give you. And also it is said in our tradition, it said, don't talk to anybody but your spiritual teacher. Because two ways. Because sometimes it becomes your pride, and secondly, others will misunderstand. They will say, oh, it is some crazy thing going on. And they will misinterpret with other friends and other circle. So better, and also it is said, as you can keep your own experiences in yourself, it becomes powerful, more powerful. So assume now page 203 in the middle. Assume that a mundane person has come to you, and now, considering it your duty, you interact with him as necessary. That is to it. But do not speak confidentially with him, as I said, spiritual realizations, because generally affection develops by such confidential talks. And if affection develops, then the fault of taking undesirable association arises. It is desirable association, undesirable association. You talk about God, and he talks about his mundane talks. And then quickly you will see you are overpowered. You don't talk about God, you are listening to all the garbage of others. So avoid that. These are very tidbits of spiritual life. So this is in that way, if you read, I have no time to go into every detail, I am just skipping. But if we do that, then how to live in the world, that has been very clearly given. You will be soon overpowered by them because you are not that strong. If you are strong, you will overpower them. Holy people do that. Bad people go and become holy by their holy association. But immature mind, when we are, and one talking about mundane talk, or all the garbage of the world, and you are thinking you are spiritual, you are exchanging and making friendship, and you are relationship. No, you are committing a risk for yourself, because that will overpower your spirituality. If a friend or a family member comes to you, you can speak what is necessary, but it is better not to affectionately reveal topics that are dear to one's heart. If the same person is a Vaishnava, then the conversation ought to be filled with affection. If a devotee comes, joyfully talk about God, exchange spiritual ideas, your sadhana, you are talking about, most of sometime in our table discussion comes, no? One story came, what came in morning time today. We started talking about what you read, and on that issue came Ramakrishna story. In the lunch time also it was going on of Swamiji's anger, how he is angry, one story to the other story to the other story. This is called exchange. You get benefit out of that. Maharaj, how he used to come, how Swamiji used to, he asked for his, what is called, let me have some temperature, no? Let me have some fever. Why? And then Holy Mother came and said, Baba, now the day is gone, come up. And he came up and he 102 degrees temperature gone. So those are association is taking the mind from mundane idiotic talks to the spiritual, even during your eating. So this is called the association. We have to cultivate such association. And when some spiritual talk is going on and something goes on, the COVID is doing like that, day and night, day and night. Your mind will be covered with those thoughts, no? So how we can make use of our time? By following these directives, there will be not be any possibility of opposition from friends. There is no sangha in customary practical conversation. A sadhaka ought to interact with people with detachment. Those who are bhaktas, devotees, those who are monks, make friendship. But when there is not spiritual, don't be rude, unkind, polite and everything, but don't be very close, intimate. Just as one interacts in the market with buyers or seller. When you go to shopping, what do? You pay your price, you get your things done. That's the business. You interacted, but you don't become very friendly and close and intimate. So that is the way we have to live in the world. It's a good idea.
Should an aspirant be detached in all interactions?
Yeah, if it is not spiritual.
What about even, let's just say we're eating lunch, we're talking with each other, and sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's
I
not.
said that's okay. That it is not let it not go down. If you are equal, they are saying equally is okay.
Well,
But
how involved in the interaction should your mind
you should. I think that you should just say as you know you talk, but it should not create any impression in your heart. Don't allow up to that part to go. You live in the world, listen to everything, and it is going on. Yeah, you are there, but if you are doing japa, that will guard you. It will come to your ear and you will rebound there.
That's a detachment.
That's the internal. That is the real detachment. It should not enter into your mind and create an impression. However, when interactions are with pure devotees, they are to be loving. When you are talking to a sadhu, talking to a brother, monastic or a devotee, good devotee, talk about God. And there you can have some closeness. When feeding hungry and suffering persons or professional educators, treat them as guests, but it is not necessary to have a special heartfelt affection for them. Make effort to help them, but without binding affection. Feed only sadhus and pure Vaishnavas in such an affectionate way and lovingly accept the prasad they give. If one interacts with one's spouse, children, servants and visitors in the above mentioned way, it will not be considered rasatsanga, and satsanga can still be taken. Therefore, if one does not consider all these points, give up bad association, there is no hope to attain bhakti or devotion. So, are you getting the point? Point is that you have, as a Vedanta goes one step up. Here it is said, avoid the people who are not of your standard, no? But just superficially make a friendship. But Vedanta says, you have to rise above, to see Brahman everywhere. But when you see Brahman everywhere, does not mean that you should have to go and mix closely. Association, how far will you go, is there should be some restraint in you. And encourage that type of discussion, encourage that type of friendship where you get spiritual benefit. Very, very, very critical, very difficult in the life, because we made wrong choices also. And people think that I am talking to a sadhu, but sadhu should be sat. It is not always as you say, we don't. But that's why I say, go to a honeycomb and poke in right direction, that the honey comes out, not the bees come to bite. Both things are possible. Untrained person and poking the beehive, then the bees will be running all around and can give a good bite. But to know how to suck the honey, that is called, go to a sadhu, and or any devotee even. You can just bring out so much good out of them, because they have something of the spiritual side also. So encourage that. Rupa Goswami instructs regarding Sangat Tyaga. Then what he says, it is proper, this is the last paragraph on page 204, but we will go to the next 6th chapter. It is Rupa Goswami's instructions regarding Sangat Tyaga. Sangat Tyaga means association, how to give up the association. It is proper for renowned Vaishnavas, Vaishnavas means devotees, to accept whatever alms they have collected through Madhukari. Here comes the monastic life. They are mentioning about, because Rupa Goswami was a monk. He's talking about monk. Monk as Vaishnava monk or monk as a Vedanta monk does not make a difference. Lover of God. Love God in a personal aspect or love God in an impersonal aspect. These are the 2 points. So, but even not that all sadhus are sannyasis, monks, Vedanta monks are meditating day and night on the impersonal. Even they do personal, impersonal mix, no? So they are all devotees. So it said that Madhukari. Madhukari, you know, begging your food. Begging small amounts of food. Why? You don't burden the devotees. We are also, how we survive in the Vedanta society, no? Madhukari. The devotees, one devotee gives this, another devotee gives this, you know, and all this, there whatever comes, and that goes for the ashrama and worship and our day-to-day activity, as also our normal needs of the monks and nuns. No? So, from homes of different householders, they should always remember the difference between material bhiksha, begging, or madhukari bhiksha. You may say, a beggar also goes to beg, and the monks also go to beg. Are they same? Well, no, don't make equal. They are different. Householder Vaishnavas, the devotees who are living in the home, they are they are to accept prasad and grains only in the homes of a devotee. Householder devotees also make friendship with the devotees. No, if you go to make friendship with some people who are not devotees, their bad vibration, their bad intention silently affects the person. So therefore, householder devotees also should mix with the devotees to gain more benefit. But don't make a judgment if you have to go to anyone. Oh, he's a bad guy, I don't go. That means you are making a sense of superiority. You are superior than others, no? So, ego, how it sprouts. I am spiritual. I am greater than you. This is the silently growing inside, this popping up. Ego is such a thing, very difficult to catch it. You catch it this side, it makes like the virus, mutating all the time. No, you attack this side. That's why it is difficult to find a vaccine, because they are creating one vaccine. By that time, it has mutated into another. So it has become forceful in another direction. So that's why ego is a very, very difficult thing. That's why Ramakrishna said, let the ego remain, rascal ego remain like a servant. O Lord, I am your servant. I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. So one living entity who possesses spiritual merit develops faith in bhakti by a mere few words. By the mercy of Krishna, some intelligence has already arisen in him. Through this intelligence, he can easily understand the essence of the instructions. Therefore, such people require concise directives. But persons with spiritual merit lacks faith. Persons without spiritual merit lacks faith. So we go to a person who has faith for God, who loves God, who repeats the holy name, who leading that life, make more friendship with them. But with everyone, mix with everyone, but keep your own separateness there, internally. And not hate them, don't belittle them, don't look down upon them. I am higher than you, but I am not yet strong to meet with that person and get the good spiritual benefit. Yeah, when you are strong, you will get it. Because God is everywhere. Said Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna used to go to Samadhi while seeing the holy people. Seeing the mother's temple, going to mother temple or any other God image. He used to go to Samadhi. Again, he used to go to Samadhi with seeing the mundane things in the world. No. Seeing a tiger, lion, which is going to Samadhi. No. What is there in that lion? It's a mundane thing. But his mind is so tuned, he can just connect with the divine any level. So this is the last part of Rupa Goswami's statement about the virtue on the chapter 5, and it's called the Sangha Tyaga, giving the idea what association we have to give up. Simply what we have talked about so many days in the 5th chapter is this, that association with negative people, association with those who are not the bhaktas, those who are not practicing, don't be very intimate. And be very careful not to be close to a woman, if you are a man, or a man for a woman, because these are the natural affection comes over there, and your spiritual ideal soon falls down. First you will say his mother, 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 and mother becomes something else afterwards. Or you will say, oh, he's my father, 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 and father goes to another wrong direction. You do not know how mind plays. Yes, when you are strong, then do that.
Is that only for monks or for
Householders also. Householders will have only their loving relations with their husband and wife. Good relationship. You go to Hare Krishna people, I sometimes see their family tie, their children, and they are so neat. Everyone is tuned to Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And they look upon others as mother or sister. That's this general world principle. And for monks, everyone should be looked upon either as mother or as, so that bad impression, bad instigations, asat, sangha, does not arise in the mind, And that leads to, that's why don't be close to them. It is called keep a distance. This distance, social distancing. That is very important for spiritual life. Keep a distance. Yeah, our sadhus say, yeah, from a distance, respect them with a distance. Honorable distance. They will also keep you, and that keeps a spirituality. Otherwise, both go down. So, we have finished that chapter. To be in life, but we should be very careful about to avoid, that is what is bad association. Negative people, those who don't understand your spirituality. Don't talk about spirituality with them. Your practice, how it is going on, and this and that. Because they will not understand, they will misunderstand, misrepresent, in the talk about that wrongly to other people and belittle this type of thing. Therefore, but when you get a similar type of friend or devotee, you can exchange those thoughts and give value to prasad. In the Vaishnava literature they say prasad. When you eat, don't think you are eating food. It is you are eating the prasad, the blessings of the Lord. So that then the subtle benefit of the food will come. Food brings the physical part. When you eat any food, it transforms and it gets digested and it prepares your what? Everything, blood, bone, all the things what is necessary. It is out of the food we take, is it not? But your noble thought that I am not eating food only, it is the blessings of the Lord. That's why we are every day you bring the tray. Is it not a ritual? What's the need? Why do you bring that tray and then again go and throw over it? That spirit is that God has glanced on this food, it has become purified. It is not the ordinary food, but it is a spiritual food. So take in that spirit, then the special taste for this food or that food, all have been offered, all are prasad. So equal vision will come for food. We have no luxury to say I like, I dislike. Yes, if your body does not take it, then it's okay. But gradually a monk should have, because monk have no option. When they go for begging food, where is the option? What will you get? Who knows? You cannot choose, I don't take it, I don't take it. You have the luxury when you become very VIP person, VIP sadhu. So, the Swami does not like this. So, that's okay. And we are old people, we can claim something. No? His old body does not take this food, that food. Of course, your young body also will be, what is that? But if that is so, should be little. But not that every time we cannot choose our things. So therefore, for food, not only food of the tongue, also other things should be restrained and associations should be like that, should be cultivated. And opposite to that should be given up. Now we start the page 205, the sixth last of the practices. It is called the sadhu vritti. Again, emphasizing negatively give up those things, positively have it. Now we are talking about adopting, this chapter is adopting the virtues, conduct of pure devotees. Oh, is there any question?
Not yet, but you can mention that we're going to have questions in 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. So we'll start the next day.
5 minutes is the end of the class.
Yeah. 5-10 minutes we can do, 5 minutes extra we can do if there is any question.
Okay.
So we'll start the next day, the chapter 6, which is called Sadhu Vritti, or adopting the virtuous conduct of pure devotees. Whom to follow? Whom shall we follow? We follow Ramakrishna, we follow Vivekananda, we follow Holy Mother, we follow Shivananda. We don't follow idiots who are talking about, okay, go and mix and dance and eat and drink and dance and then also spiritual. No, we are not going to listen to that. So that's why it is said, adopting, we should adopt. What we have to adopt? The virtues, the virtuous conduct. what the others did, how the Swami, great Swamis, spiritual giants of the world, Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, no, how they have adopted in their life. You have to follow their footsteps. Next day. Okay, so if you have any question.
There is no question, so
Okay.
so far.
So then, okay, then 5 minutes I can just continue to preamble this. Sadhus are of the two types. There are sadhus in Vaishnava literature, sadhus will be two types. One may be remaining in the home, at the same time the great sadhus. And another who have renounced the world and sadhus. In our tradition, you go, sadhus, who are sadhus? Even the M, the writer of the gospel. How spiritual was he? You go to what you call the Bangladesh, what is his name? Dhaka. Dhaka, what is the name of the way old bhaktas?
Oh, Nagma.
Ram Babu in Calcutta, Nag Mahasai, those who came to Ramakrishna and in their touch, many people who live in household life, they excelled all the limitation. We have to follow their renunciation. They live, Master Masa is to sleep in the floor, austere. They don't need, they have money, they are college professors, they can afford to do certain things. But austerity, and they are practicing monastic life, being in the world. Their monastic life means being with wife, they don't keep relationship like a wife. They become brothers and sisters like that. And they are, both of them are sitting for meditation, both of them are praying together, both of them are in the preparation of the prasad. No? So, as if two people are jointly moving towards God. So not like the worldly person as they live in the world, only for your worldly pleasure and worldly fun. No, not that. So that type of devotees, in every incarnation we find such householder group of people and the monastic group of people. So this renunciate. Hence their vritti is also two types, that of the householder Vaishnava and that of the renunciate Vaishnava. In Vaishnavism there are two. One, they remain in the house and husband, wife, children, but that is a God-centered life. This child, son, daughter, everyone is tuned to prayer, meditation. They sit together for prayer, they chant the Harinam together, they take prasad with spiritual values, they talk about God in the family. No. So they are there, but they are. See, all the Upanishads we always refer. Upanishads are householders. But they are householders, we follow their footsteps. Why? Because they are not like ordinary householders. Though they are in the house, but they are much different than that of others. So we end here. We will be doing it next time. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. We will be again meeting at 7:30 today to think about the nectar of supreme knowledge, Yoga Vasishta. Thank you for coming. Hope you are keeping well and pray that you all stay well. Jai Ma, Jai Ma.